Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna teach you how to draw like Kooleen. Step 1, you wanna go on Pinterest and you wanna find a reference of a good looking dude like Kooleen would. And then you wanna import that into like literally any decent drawing app there is. And then you want to throw on a frame on there and save that as a picture. Once you're done with that, open up the reference window in your drawing app, or you can do split screen like me because I'm blind. And then you wanna start copying what you see from the grid and everything. And you wanna do it on your canvas on the layer beneath your grid. Cut it down first into like a really basic skeleton sketch like I told you in my previous part 1 video that sucked. So you're not too overwhelmed at first, and then slowly start adding in more details. And then once you're finished with a skeleton sketch, add another layer on top of that and start adding in more details. However, don't exactly copy the proportions in your reference because Kooleen's proportions are different than real life proportions. For example, the chin is more rectangular and the eyes, well, she has a tutorial on how to do her eyes and lips, so I'm not gonna bore you with that. I like to put my sketch on different like layers so it's easier for me to liquefy and fix the proportions. You don't have to, but I would really recommend to do this because it's gonna help you a lot, especially if you struggle with proportions. And if you do that, put all the layers into one folder. Once you're finished with your basic sketch, you're going to add a layer from the folder where you had like your previous sketch, or if you did it all on one layer, just duplicate that because it's always good to have a backup just in case I screw up. Once you're finished with that, you're going to lightly erase your sketch, but make sure not to like be scared of it because you're gonna add all the details and fix it all up when you're coloring, so there's no need to worry. Just make sure you can like still somewhat make out the details and understand what you're trying to do, you know? So once you're finished with that, you're gonna add another layer beneath that and you're gonna import a picture of one of Kooleen's drawing and you're gonna start color picking from there, and you're gonna color in the base color of the skin, and then you're going to block in the main shadows that you see from your reference onto there using Kooleen's colors because, you know, we gotta have that Kooleen color palette. Once you're finished with color picking and shading everything and like blocking in all the shadows, what you're gonna do is you're going to start blending everything out using the airbrush tool. By the way, the only two brushes I'm using for this is airbrush and dip pen hard. And if you're using another type of app, I'm sure they have an airbrush in there. I'm sure they have like whatever default hard pen they have. Use that. This is what Kooleen used. So once you're finished with blocking everything in and smoothing it all out with airbrush, you're just gonna keep repeating the process, looking at your reference, copying that to the best of your abilities, and just keep going back and forth with all the features and the face. It's also good to have like a few other drawing references of Kooleen's so that it's easier to also see how she would shade it and how she might do some things because she does stylized art. Once you're finished with that, you are going to add another layer on top of that and you're going to fill in the hair, and then you're just going to add like highlights and then your shading color, and then you're going to smudge everything using the smudge tool. Once you're done with that, that's basically it. After that, you're going to add another layer on top of that and you're going to start working on the clothes. The clothes basically is the same thing. You fill it in, you look at your reference, see where the shadows and the creases are, and then you try to copy that as best as you can onto your drawing. While you're doing everything, you want to make sure to add a nice outline with either airbrush or a lower opacity of your default brush to achieve that nice smooth / soft Kooleen outline look. Once you're finished coloring everything, put your sketch layer and all your coloring layers into one folder. Then you're going to add a layer from that folder and you are going to start liquefying things to make it look less weird. Also, flip the canvas while you're liquefying just so that can help you get a new perspective. And once you're finished liquefying, add a layer underneath that and put like a light gray background and add a little bit of a gradient there. Don't forget to add your name, but make sure to make it look kind of Kooleen so it looks like it'll blend in and work out still. And you want to use the lasso tool and lasso around the person's face and then do the reverse selection so that it's selected everything else but the face now. And then you're going to Gaussian blur everything else but the face to make the face stand out more. Also, add like a very light noise overlay just because Kooleen does that in her drawings too. And boom, you got a Kooleen drawing now, baby. I hope you learned something new today and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!